Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Hari ini kumpulan kami akan membentangkan tentang problem-based task network design. Okay, nama saya Muhammad Danial Hakim bin SHAMSULHAIRUDIN. Nama matrik 10 DDT 20F1070.
Saya Muhammad AMIR bin ZAILANI, nombor matrik 10 DDT 20S1016.
Nama saya QHUZAIRIL bin AZHAR dan nombor matrik saya 10 DDT 20F1004.
Okay, this is a scenario of the PPT. The network of the Danial Berhad company has been enhanced in one of the areas. At the same time, one of the departments had a large number of new hires. The director decided to hire you as a network engineer to fix the network problem and expand the network's capacity to accommodate more employees. The current setup is depicted in figure 1. Okay, kita boleh lihat gambar rajah di sini. Ada roof and rest area, ada logistics service, archive, meeting room, working area, financial department, manager office, reception room and storage room. Figure 1. Floor plan of the company Danial Berhad. Based on information gathered from the manager at Danial Berhad, you must prepare a proposal for the network requirement at the customer requires. Design hierarchical network architecture, design IP addressing, and create an equipment list to meet internet requirement as mentioned in company requirements. Design the core distribution and SL layer depending on company requirement. Use the 192.168 and .10.1/34 network, where the corporation requires 4 independent subnets to support 4 different areas and user in the workplace. You must construct a conference room for 20 people, a working area for 25 hosts, a financial department area for 15 hosts, a logical service area for 5 computers and laptops, and a manager office for 4 hosts. Company requires a wireless network in the roof and rest area as well as the reception area so that our employees can access the internet at the same time. Choose the proper sort of cable and the amount of network hardware you will need to set up the network. Place and devices in each location according to the needs, such as one printer in the financial department and one printer in the working area and manager's office, where employees can connect to wireless network with their own laptop and or phone, and one HTTP server in the working area. Okay. Next, create project timeline and budget estimate for software and hardware devices using a Gantt chart. Network maintenance and downtime implementation strategy. Prototype testing with simulation tools can be used to verify network design in terms of application, response time, throughput, availability, and regression. For our task, we must prepare a network design proposal and develop a prototype to validate the concept in a group of no more than 4 people. The following items would be included in our proposal. So the information that needed as below. Number 1, executive summarize of your customer. The company Danial Berhad required to build hierarchical network architecture, design IP addressing, and prepare an equipment list to fulfill the company internet network requirements. Depending on the needs of the company, the network designer must develop the core, distribution, and access layer. Moreover, 4 independent subnets are required by the company and accommodate 4 different areas and users in the workplace. Okay, for the next task is explain network requirement to set up a new network. The new network setup generally requires 4 separate subnet to accommodate 4 different places and users in the office that are connected to the 192.168 10.1/24 network. Conference room for 20 person, working space for 25 hosts, financial department area for 50 hosts, logistical service area for 5 PC and laptops, and manager office for 4 hosts are the 4 autonomous subnets. Server is required in the room and rest area, as well as the research area, so that's all employees may use the internet simultaneously. Employees should be able to connect the wireless network with their own laptop or phone in each place based on their needs, such as one printer furnishing department, one printer in the working area, manager office, and one HTTP server in the working area. This the next question, the next task that should we do? Build subnet and topologies that meet the requirements, document the assigned IPv4 addresses in the addressing table 192.168.10.1/34. Okay, for the network area for financial department, there requires 15 hosts. So the network ID is 192.168.10.24/27, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224. Other than that, for the working area, requires 25 hosts. The network ID is 192.168 and 10.0/37, and the subnet mask same as the financial department. The third one is meeting room area, requires 20 hosts. The IP address 192.168.10.32/37. The IP address also same as the financial department and working area. Okay, for the fourth for the four network area, logistics service requires 1 computers and 3 laptops. The IP address is 192.168.10.96/29, and the IP address is 255.255.255.248. The fifth roof and rest and reception room area need to set up Wi-Fi for 50 staff. So the network ID should be 192.168.10.112/30, and the IP address 255.255.255.252. And for the last one is manager office area requires 4 hosts. The network ID 192.168.10.104/29, and the subnet mask same as the logical service. That is 255.255.248. Okay, this the third question. Build logical and physical diagram based on the requirement and the floor plan of the company. So they are the logical diagram, and the below one is the physical diagram. Okay, number 4, choose type of cable and network hardware appropriately. Propose suitable software for monitoring network and HTTP server backup purpose. Okay, then I have a quantity and the model. For the quantity, there are copper straight through cable. The quantity is 35. We use a 3 serial cable, 3 console cable, 3 router, router 1941. Then for the switch, we use a switch. The model is Cisco Catalyst 2960. For PC, we use PC, 2 laptops, 4 printer, and 1 smartphone. Okay, next I will pass to QHUZAIRIL to continue it.
Okay, next for question 5. Build the prototype based on the logical diagram and complete the configuration on the below device. Okay, one, for router configuration, we need to configure the device name R1, D1, D2, configure the device name R2, D3, D4, configure the device name R3, D5, D6, and configure gigabit internet interface G00, gigabit internet interface G001, G01. Then configure serial interfaces S01, S001, and then serial interfaces S000. Next. Okay, so here at router 1, we need to do the basic configuration. That is, first set the host name, and then no IP domain lookup, and then configure interface G00, interface G01, interface serial 000, and interface S001 with IP address, and then no shut. Same goes to router 2. You need to do the basic configuration, set the host name, and then no IP domain lookup, and then interface G00 and interface G01, interface S000, and interface S001 need to configure the IP address, and then no shut all the interfaces. Next. Also, we need to configure on the router 3, set the host name, and then no IP domain lookup, interface G, and then configure interface G00, interface G01, interface S000, and interface S001 with IP address that have been given. Also, no shut all the interfaces. Okay, next. Okay, second is to switch configuration. We need to configure the device name S1, D1, S2, D2, S3, D3, S4, D4, S5, D5, and lastly S6, D6. Okay, so we need to do the basic configuration on every switch. First, we need to put the hostname command and configure the interfaces, every interfaces in this router. Okay, so for switch 1, configure interface F01 and interface F05, and then put no shut. Next, for switch 2, you need to put the hostname S2 and D2. Then configure interface F01, and then interface range F05 to 6, and then put no shut. Also, as switch 3, we need to configure the hostname S3D3, and then to configure interface F01 and interface range F05 to 7, and then put no shut. And also on the switch 4, set the hostname for S4D4, set configure interface F01 no shut, and interface range F05 to 7 no shut. Okay, next. Okay, next for switch 5, we need to put the same hostname S5 D5 and configure interface F01 no shut, interface range F05 to 7 no shut. And lastly, for switch 6, need to configure the hostname as 6D6 and then configure interface F01 no shut. Also interface, range F0, 5 to 6, and no shut. Okay, the third is wireless router. First, we need to set up wireless router for roof, address, and reception room area. Then need to configure the internet connection type and SSID Wi-Fi _ P1. And all the staff device can connect to the wireless network by obtain IP from the DHCP. So as you can see in the photo below, on the wireless router, we set the SSID with the Wi-Fi _ P1, and then on the end device there is a smartphone. Click the DHCP, so we get the DHCP IP that from the wireless router. Also from laptop, click the DHCP, so we can get the IP address and subnet mask and default gateway from the wireless router. Okay, next. And fourth is PC and printer configurations. First, configure IPv4 address, subnet mask, and default gateway settings for the PCs on each area by using IP address according to the addressing table. And then all PC and printers must use valid IP within the range of subnet network area. And lastly, laptop and smartphone must receive IP address from the DHCP wireless router. Okay. So here roof and rest reception area. On smartphone, we click the DHCP. Also on laptop, we click DHCP. So the end devices can get the valid IP address that given from the wireless router. Okay, next. Okay. Next is on logistics. Logistics service. On the logistics service PC, we need to configure the IP address. So on PC1 at logistic service, we put 192.168.10.99, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.248, and the default gateway is 192.168.10.97. Also on PC meeting room, we need to configure the IP address that is 192.168.10.34, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.220, and the default gateway is 192.168.10.33. Okay, on PC2, you need to configure the IP address 192.168.10.36. Subnet mask 255.255.255.224, and the default gateway 192.168.10.33. And for laptop one, the IP is 192.168.10.35, and the subnet mask 255.255.255.224, and the default gateway is 192.168.10.33. Okay, next. Okay, so next is on working area. Okay, on PC1, the IP address is 192.168.10.6. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.224, and the default gateway is 192.168.10.1, and the DNS server is 192.168.10.2. Okay, so on working area printer, we need to configure the default gateway. So the default gateway is 192.168.10.1 and then for the fast Ethernet 0, we need to configure the IP address and the subnet mask is 192.168.10.3 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.244. Okay, next. Okay, then financial department on PC1, we need to configure the IP address 192.168.10.66 and then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224 and the default gateway is 192.168.10.66 and the DNS server is 192.168.10.68. And on the printer, we need to set the default gateway 192.168.10.65 and then IP address and subnet mask is 192.168.10.67 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224. Okay, so for manager office, the IP address PC is 192.168.10.106. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.248 and the default gateway is 192.168.10.105. And for config printer, 192.168.10.105 is the default gateway and IP address is 192.168.10.107 and the subnet mask is .258. Okay, next. And lastly, and then in HTTP server configuration, first assign the appropriate IP address for server, then create the company page Dahlia SDN BHD. So this is a HTTP server at financial department. So first you need to put the IP address is 192.168.10.68 and the subnet mask is .0 and default gateway is 192.168.10.65 and the DNS server is 192.168.10.68. And then go to web browser and put the HTTP server IP address. Click go, so we can go to the company page that Dahlia's SMBHD backup. Okay, next. Okay, so next for HTTP server at working area, we put the IP address 192.168.10.2. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.224 and the default gateway 192.168.10.1 and the server .2. And then HTTP add HTTP server service HTTP. We edit the index HTML like this, and then save. After that, go to web browser and click put the IP address of the HTTP server, and then click go, and then we will be on the company web page. Okay, next. Okay, next I will give to AMIR. Thank you.
Next question is question 6. Test a prototype to verify a network design. Document the result of prototype testing below. All PCs should be able to ping all the device. So we choose PC logistic service to ping to other device. The first test is PC logistic service can ping to PC meeting room. Ping 192.168.10.34 and success. And next, PC logistic service can ping to PC working area. Ping 192.168.10.6. So success. Next. PC logistic service can ping to PC financial department. Ping 192.168.10.66. successful. And then lastly, PC logistic service can ping to PC manager office. Ping 192.168.10.106 also successful. Next. And then staff can use their own laptop or handphone to access to the wireless network. So from the laptop staff, when we click on DHCP, IPv4 address appear with the subnet mask and default gateway. So, and then to verify, go to desktop, and then on the wireless network monitor, it says you have successfully connected to the access point. Yes. From the smartphone, when you click the SCP, the IPv4 address appear with subnet mask and default gateway. And then to verify it, you go to config, and then on wireless 0, you can see there is IPv4 address with the bandwidth. And then next. Application response time testing. This sort of test assesses performance from the perspective of a user, determining how much time a user must wait when doing common network tasks. Starting the application, switching between screens, form, fill inside the application, and file open, read, write, searches, and shuts are all examples of this action. So example, using ping command, it will show the response time as shown in the diagram below. Next. And then throughput testing. This sort of test analyze throughput in kilobyte or megabyte per second for a single application and many apps. Through a switching device, it may also measure throughput in terms of packets per second, for example, a switch or router. Next is availability testing. The prototype system is tested for 24 to 72 hours under medium to heavy load during availability testing. The rate of mistakes and failures is kept track of. And then regression testing. The need of regression testing emerges most often when there is a need to alter the configuration of devices, and we need to see if the change impacts the rest of the network. Regression testing ensures that the new system does not break any apps or components that were previously known to operate and perform to a specific level. And then question 7. Explain type of installation method that we use to set up the network. So we choose phase installation. Because the network is being phased in, it includes an existing network that may be expanded with additional network devices. Parts of the network upgrade are implemented separately from other parts of the network that are currently operational. This installation took longer and cost more money to complete. And then the network update is split down into smaller pieces that can be quickly deployed and evaluated. The upgrade will be installed in smaller stages, resulting in reduced downtime. And then this stage will necessitate more in-depth preparation with the consumer. This is because adding new network components or technologies to an existing network can be challenging. And then it must be done with extreme caution in order to avoid excessively disrupting services. And then number 8, question 8, prepare an implementation plan for maintenance and downtime network. So network is operational 24 hours a day, so the maintenance is required. Maintain a router and switch every month. And then the software of the devices need to be updated after get the notice from the other device, such as any OS that associated with the console to router and switch. To prevent unwanted access to the network, the wireless router's password must be changed on a regular basis. In addition, the wireless router must stop broadcast SSID and instead discover the SSID assigned by the administrator. Next, I will pass to QHUZAIRIL.
Okay, then next I will continue question 9. Estimate budget for software. So software, we use Packet Tracer and PuTTY. About software, Packet Tracer is a cross-platform visual simulation tools designed by Cisco system that allows user to create network topologies and imitate modern computer networks. Also, it costs free And then PuTTY. PuTTY is a free and open source terminal emulator, serial console, and a network file transfer application. It supports several network protocols, including SCP, SSH, Telnet, log, login, and raw socket connection. And it can also connect to serial port, and also the cost is free. Okay, next. Okay, question 10 is estimate budget for hardware devices. Okay, first we have copper straight to cable, quantity 25, price per one is RM50 ringgit, and the total price is RM1250. Next is for serial cable, quantity 3. Price per one is 45 ringgit, and the total price is 135. Next is console cable, quantity 3. Price per one is RM 45 ringgit, and total price is 135. Next is we have router 1941, quantity 3, and price per one is RM 6,500 ringgit, and the total price RM 90,500. And next is switch is Cisco Catalyst 2960, quantity 6, and price per one is 8,500. So the total price is RM 51,000. And then PC we have 20, and price per one is 1,000, and total price is 20,000. Next is laptop. We have 3, and the total is 1,100 ringgit, and the total price is RM 3,300 ringgit. And for printer, we have 4 printer. Price per one is 350 ringgit, and the total price is 1,400 ringgit. And lastly, for smartphone, we have 1 smartphone, and price per one is RM 500 ringgit, and the total price is RM 500 ringgit. And the total price of all the hardware is RM 97,220 ringgit. Okay, next I will give to Danial Hakim. Thank you.
Okay, net is estimate timelines using Gantt chart for requirement. So we can see here the point of number 1 is gather information and requirement. So it takes around 3 days for gather information and the requirement. Then the point number 2, design the hierarchical network. It takes around 5 days or 4 days. Okay, and number 3, design network implementation plan. So it takes 2 days to plan the implementation. Next, estimate budget for software. It takes 3 days to do it. And the next is equipment orders and delivery. It takes 1 week. And next, network installation just for 1 days. Then testing and troubleshooting. It takes around three uh, 3 days. And then prepare the documentation. It takes near about 1 week or 6 days. Okay. For the gather information and requirement, customer is collected to aid and the planning of our organization efforts to become more inclusive, as well as to assist us to making decisions. The point number 2, design the hierarchical network. using the 192.168.10.1/24 network. The hierarchical network core, distribution, and access layer are constructed based on corporate demands, where the corporation requires for separate subnet to service four different location user in the workplace. Okay, next, network implementation plan. Deliver the information necessary to complete the administration at the customer sites and ensure basic operational and configuration readiness for service. Next, estimate budget for software and hardware. Avoid superfluous testing at all costs as it causes unnecessary delays and expenditures. Furthermore, there should be no partial or insufficient testing, since this might lead to the delivery of faulty item and to end customers. Number five, network installation. We improve the network as a part of the installation process by breaking it down into smaller components that can be installed and evaluated rapidly. The least amount of the downtime is achieved by installing the update in stages. Okay, for the point number six, testing and troubleshooting. Conduct a test on the new network to identify the fault or mistake. If there is a problem, we must troubleshoot the network to get it working again. And the last one is prepare documentation. We employ internet collecting of all the information necessary to properly run the procedure within the company to generate the documentation. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.